Come on down to Cinemassacre Video, where selection is the name of the game. We got comedy, drama, action, horror, movies for kids, movies for mom and dad. We got the newest releases, the hottest video games, even Laserdisc. Having a problem making a selection? Our friendly staff is always there to help out, and with our state-of-the-art database software, it's easy to find exactly what you're looking for, even if it sucks. Today's featured rental, the radical martial arts masterpiece, Surf Ninjas. Johnny was a gnarly surfer bro until he found out that he was the rightful heir to the throne of Patu-san. Totally tubular. But if he wants his kingdom back, he's gonna have to face the evil General Chi. Whoa, bogus! Starring Ernie Reyes Jr., Kelly Hu, and Rob Schneider, with Tone Loc and Leslie Nielsen as General Chi. Cinemassacre Video in the Voorhees Memorial Shopping Center next to Caldor.
Yo, I see you got these magazines over here.
Yeah, it's Shadowland. That's the one I'm in, actually, the interview. The
Where are you getting all these magazines from?
Shadowland?
Like conventions?
They sent it to me. Oh, they got Ninja 3 on the back.
Yeah.
Hi, excuse me?
Yep.
Hey.
I called ahead and I said that I wanted Liam Neeson in Schindler's List. You seem to have given me Leslie Nielsen in Surf Ninjas.
Oh, that's quite a drastic change.
It took me an hour to realize I was watching the wrong movie because I missed the opening credits. I was making popcorn and I'm just really upset now. Are you going to laugh during the whole bit?
I didn't say that.
Well, Surf Ninjas is awful.
It is really awful. If you have a minute, I'd like to talk about it.
Is that the Rob Schneider movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you rented that?
Oh, on accident.
Did you ever see Deuce Bigelow? Is that why you rented this? Because you're a fan of?
Oh wait, are you talking about the American or the European Gigolo?
Yeah, American Gigolo was great. European Gigolo, that was just Rob Schneider selling out.
Is that the name of the first one, American Gigolo?
I think it was just Male Gigolo.
Yeah, just Male Gigolo. But he was in America.
Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
What's the European
Never
one?
seen
that was
though.
a sequel.
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, European Gigolo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo 2, European Gigolo.
If that was the name of it, I would want to see it.
But before he did that,
he did Surf Ninjas.
Now, do you have Deuce Bigelow?
No. I don't know.
You might have.
Is it on beta?
I don't think it came out after beta.
Well, Rob Schneider is a beta. Okay, so I want to play a game with you guys. It's called Guess How Old Rob Schneider Is in this film. Because he plays a high school student. He plays a 15-year-old.
Well, he was probably already on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So at least in his 20s.
Those guys are younger.
This movie came out in 93?
Think so?
Yeah.
I want to say early 20s. A lot of people start off on Saturday Night Live.
22, 23.
25.
25.
Yeah.
23.
Rob Schneider was born he was born in 1963, I think. He is 30 years old in this film. He's playing exactly half his age at 15. He's 30 in it.
Oh, he's supposed to be 15?
Well, because they say, at like the Patu-san warrior prince must be 16 and then he'll come back. It's part of like the I don't know, like the spell or what, the magic. And so clearly the one kid's 15, so I assume Rob Schneider's 15 and the girl or whatever. So he's 15, he's 30 playing 15.
I'll give it to Rob Schneider. He's not a very good actor. He's probably not a very good person, I don't know. But he's aging really well. He's aging better than most people.
He's like, Rob Schneider's like a fine wine. Maybe not in acting prowess, but in he looks.
Yeah, it sounds like a wine or a hard alcohol. Would you want a Rob Schneider?
Yeah, Rob Roy. Schneiderbach, yeah.
Let's just talk about what this movie is. Is like,
no, we don't want to do that.
I remember seeing the trailer when it came out. Did not watch it as a kid. I don't know how I would have felt about it back then, but seeing it recently, seeing it for the first time, most of it, I couldn't get through it, was like, this is like the most generic 90s movie. It's like three ninjas, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
It's got a little of that in it, but this is like...
It's very cliche to the max.
It's got a little of that, like, Point Break. They're trying to do, like, surfing.
Yeah.
Well, there's also some, like, Eddie Murphy's Golden Child, where they're trying to get back to the kingdom, and Three Ninjas, definitely. It's definitely riding on the ninja craze of the early 90s.
Well, that's the thing. I have a really good memory of this movie as a child, because I really like ninja stuff, because Power Rangers was huge when I was, like, growing up. And I know they weren't, like, ninjas right away, but they eventually became ninjas. So anything ninja I was into, like Batman the Animated Series, he fought a ninja a couple times, you know, the League of whatever.
Yeah.
So anything ninja put me on, I would watch it. Like, even Ninja Turtles I wasn't a huge fan of, but when it was on, I liked it, because ninja. So Surf Ninjas, I thought, you know, this is right up my alley.
So you like ninjas?
I do like ninjas.
Do you like when your ninjas wear blue, bright neon camo?
Yes.
So basically, in this movie, you got surfers going up against ninjas in blue camo.
Oh, no, not even surfer. Just kids that happen to surf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mind you, they surf twice in the entire film.
Okay.
That's like if you make a movie like Jurassic Park, and you only show 2 dinosaurs.
I didn't really even understand.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you got like Rob Schneider. He's out on the beach with these dudes with surfboards, and then the next thing that happens is this Ninja Turtle-esque scene. These guys come crashing through the window, and then there's like this guy who's like, "Let me tell you the story from 10,000 years ago." And then they show this mountain with like this really fake-looking rainbow, and then Leslie Nielsen comes, and you're just like, "What the fuck is happening?"
And Leslie Nielsen isn't even funny in the movie.
I know.
Not even.
Well,
he
they
can save
tried. Like they had the gag where he keeps missing the phone call, even though he's like a cyborg samurai.
Because an elephant steps on his head.
Yeah, of course.
And then now he has like a half metallic face.
Yeah. But yeah, Surf Ninjas, I was trying to say earlier, Surf Ninjas is the first time I was disappointed by a ninja. Like I watched this whole movie and I'm like, this is terrible.
Even now, I thought it would be like a good nostalgic movie to watch. It's not. It's like, this is one that should just fall in the cracks. Like, it's kind of like, you know.
It's tough because there are a lot of really good jokes to set up and then there's payoff. Like, it felt like it should have been like a miniseries or a cartoon show or something, but then they jammed it into one film.
Well, it was a Game Gear game.
Yeah, apparently they developed the game for Game Gear first.
Yeah.
And it's actually surprising. I don't think I've ever gotten a request for it or anything.
But
that's because nobody's seen
the game they made for the movie wasn't. I don't think it was ever meant to be released.
Yeah,
I think it was just made for the movie.
No. The game was definitely The game was definitely made as they were writing the film as a movie tie-in. It was definitely like a sponsorship. It was definitely like this brand deal.
Because the kid
but it came out first before the
because they were trying to get hyped for the movie, or I forgot which one came out first. But and then they ported it to I think the Amiga 1200 computer and the Amiga CD32.
There was a Surf Ninjas game. I'm saying the game footage we're seeing in the movie isn't the game that eventually got released.
The game doesn't actually show you if there's really ninjas up on your roof or something like that.
So the Game Gear is funny. So basically the kid is like a visionary and he sees like, he's like the vizier. Like he can see things, but he sees it through the game. I don't think anyone else could see it. I think that's just his interpretation, which is an interesting concept, but they don't explore it. I think people disregard it. If you watch it and really pay attention to it, there's a lot of cool things that happen, like the Game Gear and the visions and all that, but they just seem like so terrible at the tie-in. So anyway, the Sega game they did at the same time, and the game in real life is completely different than his visions in the game.
Yeah, because there's a Game Gear in the movie.
Yeah, and the Game Gear in the movie that tells everyone.
I think even Three Ninjas had a Game Gear, if I'm remembering correctly,
or a Game Boy. They've had
some other game some other movie in the '90s had a Game Gear also.
Well, what's funny is there's a scene where he's in when they're trying to find the secret place where they find the sword, where he finds his destiny, like it's like the cave in Golden Child, basically.
Yeah.
And you see the Game Gear for a second, and in the back is columns. It wasn't the because before it was just a black cartridge.
Yeah.
Now it was columns. Because I'm guessing that it was a functioning Game Gear.
Yeah.
And between scenes, they're like, I'm just playing columns. They forgot because it's just clear as day columns, which is a better game than Surf Ninjas.
Yeah. The Game Gear, I guess. I think we should talk about it. It's featured heavily in this film.
Yeah.
Because Sega invested in the film, basically. Yeah. They put money into this.
They must have invested a lot in Game Gear, because I think it was in quite a few movies around that time.
Yeah. They were really trying. I feel like this whole movie was just like a setup for like a franchise. Like they probably wanted to make a cartoon out of this.
Yeah.
Video games, obviously.
Now, I love Leslie Nielsen. I mean, he was in some of the best, Naked Gun, Airplane, so many classics.
Golden Girls.
Sure.
Yes.
But then later on, he did do some crappy movies, and especially I think around that time there was a bunch of junk coming out.
When he started, he was doing movies like Project Kill and all these weird
Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing weird sci-fi, good sci-fi.
Yeah.
And then he started doing weird love South Pacific style movies. So maybe that's why he did this. He's like, that'll be like that.
Yeah.
But so he's a bad guy. And he's a normal, but he's a samurai. And they say he's a Western mercenary, but he's dressed like a samurai. And he attacks Patu-san, the most peaceful, prosperous country on Earth, which is north of Malaysia and right of Vietnam, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It only exists. Patusan, the name only exists in this movie and a book from the 1900s. Like 1900 it came out.
So a lot of
I did
research went into
on
this movie.
So, but it's funny that surf ninjas would be like, hey, we need a mythical place that's somewhere in the South Pacific area, like Southeastern Asia. And they're like, oh yeah, Patusan is from this book I read, and they just they built this whole lore on the space. It's funny way to live there, but he takes it over for no reason. The place looks like it sucks. Yeah. They have no resources. They're wood carvers, and when they set up base there and have their army, they don't do anything. And they never they're not like, oh, we're gonna take over the world. Like I don't think they say that, do they?
I have no idea what their end game is.
But the back of the box, it says they're
I don't know what the people who lived there before. They're supposed to be great warriors, but they were taken over pretty easily, so I don't know what their whole deal is.
They're supposed to be, like, it says on the box, I think, like, oh, they're going to save the world and blah, 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 but the world's never in crisis.
I don't think the world, I feel like this being, like, an actual, like, country with, like, a military, if they were being threatened by this island, it'd be over in a second, I think.
When I started watching this movie, I thought that, the one kid was the kid in Ninja Turtles 2. I was like, is that the same thing?
It is. It's Kino.
Oh, it is the same.
It's Eddie Reyes Jr. Yeah.
And Eddie Reyes, and then his father is the guy with the eye patch.
So which Ernie Reyes?
Ernie, not Eddie.
And he's also in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. I believe he's the one. He's in there for a few seconds. He's one of the cemetery warriors. I think he's the one with the bamboo thing that he shoots into his mouth.
The only person Indy kills in that movie, the entire movie.
So, did Ninja Turtles 2 come out first, or did this come out first?
Turtles 2. Turtles 2.
I feel like.
Because I think he was a little younger in that.
Yeah.
So, but both of these movies seem like almost like just like ridiculousness, like ninjas like flying all over the place, and he ends up in both of these movies. I feel like at that time they're like, this kid is perfect for this kind of shit.
He is a good martial artist. So is his dad.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
I think he still had a career in stunt work.
Oh, that's the thing is this movie, the stunt work for this type of movie compared to Three Ninjas or even Ninja Turtles, the fight scenes and the choreography are great.
I was head of the Imperial Guard. It was my duty to protect the royal family at any cost.
But it's because all these stunt guys are just beating each other down.
Well, I have a problem with one problem I have with the stunts and fighting, because they are so well done, which is why it's confusing at the end of the movie. They give up on the fighting and they're just throwing dynamite at the bad guys. they murder these kids, these children, and Rob Schneider. They kill so many people with dynamite in this movie. Like, brutally murder them. Like, Leslie Nielsen gets electrocuted and explodes. And I'm like, wasn't this ninjas? Aren't they supposed to be, like, fighting? And they're like, nah, just throw dynamite at everyone.
No, I like it first when he throws the dynamite not lit, and it still knocks the car off, like Indiana Jones style. I got one! Because he just hits him in the face, and I'm like, that's clever. Oh, and then the funniest line in the movie, which everyone, like the timing was wrong. The one guy's like, hey, do you have a light for the dynamite? And no one has a lighter. And then the eye patch guy, I forgot what his name in the movie is, like Fetch or Latch. I don't know, Zatch. I think it's Zatch. Yeah. He pulls out a lighter and cigarettes and goes, oh, I'm trying to quit. And then Rob Schneider goes, hey, maybe you should get the patch. And the guy's like, haha, eye patch joke. And he looks at the camera and goes, haha. And I'm like, that's really funny and clever. But kids won't get it, and you said it wrong. Yeah. But there's things like that in the movie where you're like, oh.
And this is supposed to be a kid's movie, right?
It's called Surf Ninjas.
Yeah. So, exactly. So considering the fact that it's a kid's movie, why is there a part where Leslie Nielsen's like grabbing his dick and jerking off?
Yeah, what was that?
Not just that, he has like a real, and not just that one. Rob Schneider in the beginning of the film when he's wearing a purple wetsuit, his dick is just like outlined.
It looks like it's
the way his like swimsuit was sewn. It draws your attention. I watched this with my girlfriend, and she pointed out, she's like, "Whoa, what's going on with Rob Schneider's dick?" I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, so then Leslie Nielsen grabs his balls with his robot hand, and it's like he detached them from his own body.
Oh yeah, because James, I don't know if you got to that part of the movie.
What part of the movie is
this? This is the very end.
Leslie Nielsen. I didn't make it to the very end. So I'm just
I don't blame you.
Should I have?
Leslie Nielsen's arm, his robot arm, starts short-circuiting.
Okay.
So it starts beating him up during the fight scene, which, by the way, is not a really good climax because it's like, oh, who's going to win between the hero and the bad guy? But the bad guy starts the fight like like injured. It's like,
Okay.
all right, well, the hero's probably gonna win. And at one point, he just grabs his own crotch with his broken arm. It's
No.
weird.
He doesn't just do it natively. The kid's controlling it with the Game Gear.
Right, the Game Gear
So-
hacked into his robot arm.
So the 8-year-old kid is basically like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Leslie Nielsen rip his own balls out for killing my family. Which is a much darker film.
I guess they just thought, oh, kids will think this is real funny. It's like potty humor or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you see it in the actual movie, it's kind of like.
And then they have these. Speaking of which, they have these really weird like side actors. Like they clearly went to Thailand or whatever and filmed with all these like native people there. And I don't think they know they're in the movie. Like it's like they don't like they're like laughing and looking at the camera at wrong parts. I'm like it's just like the cannibal holocaust of.
Of Leslie Nielsen movies.
Speaking of Leslie Nielsen, I like that the flags they have with his symbol.
His face.
It's clearly like concept art of what that character should have looked like.
Yeah.
Like they clearly like made that, and like they must have cast him like real late in the game because he's barely in the movie, and it looks nothing like Leslie Nielsen.
And he's actually in the Game Gear game in like I've seen like the cut scene, whatever, and it doesn't look like Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
But they have the same idea basically.
Yeah, that's because all the flags look like it. They're different colors. Like I was confused if it was even him on the flags.
So did this movie come out in like 92?
93.
93. So it comes out in 1993.
The same year, I believe, the same year as Ninja Turtles 3.
Okay.
Now, which was the better movie?
So considering that, why is there a dance number scene with like a song that was popular in the 60s? Like the
Oh
Bob
yeah,
Oh,
and they changed it to be like the character's name or whatever.
Yeah,
like-
because what they say early in the film, and probably the first thing that happens is in school he has to do some, I guess because he's Patusani, if you want to call it that. The guy from Patusan's coming there to do to go to the school. It'd be kind of like if the Dalai Lama was coming to your class and they got the only kid in the class who's from Nepal to do the play, which is a little weird. And then he doesn't know what the Babaran is, so he just does Barbaran, the song from the Beach Boys.
Yeah, but he changes the.
Is that what they're saying in that song? They're saying Barbara Ann.
Well, I think he's just singing the song from the thing as a joke.
Well, he's like.
And then the Dalai Lama guy is incensed, I can't believe it. But then at the end of the movie, he's super happy about it.
Yeah.
So there's
Because I always thought that song, it was just I didn't know it was a name until now. I thought it was just nonsense. It was
Barbara
that,
Yeah, I actually found out recently it wasn't just Baba Ram.
Well, it's a weird song.
Maybe this movie is what made me thought it was Baba Ram.
In the song, they're like Barbara, and they're talking about all these other girls he wants to get with, but he's going back to Barbara Ann. So it's actually not the best song in the world. But everyone remembers singing it. So I don't know.
And then they do it twice.
They do it at the end too. That's the thing is, there's a lot of setup and payoff at weird times. Like they have the one bad guy falling down the stairs numerous times.
Yeah, that's
3
actually a
times.
funny gag.
So there are a lot of funny gags in it, but something with how they directed it or edited it, sometimes they don't pay off. Much like the nicotine patch one, or Barbara Ann.
And Rob Schneider ruins it. There, what was it in the 90s where they wanted to pepper him in movies like Judge Dredd and stuff? You don't need him. You don't need him.
I like Judge Dredd. Actually. I think without him, him as the comic relief, I don't think the movie has been as tolerable.
Really? Because the kids are still
personality.
making jokes though.
Are they?
Yeah. The main kid when he's fighting Zatch, when he's testing his strength or whatever, he's making jokes about how Zatch needs to calm down, not try to fight and
That's
whatnot.
true.
You don't need Rob Schneider doing his other additional jokes in there.
I hate that kid too, Ernie. In it, is that his name in the movie? What's his name in the movie?
I don't know what his name in the movie
But
was.
Ernie Reyes Jr. He's wearing these awful overalls the entire time, and I can't take him seriously. I don't know. I mean, compared to that shirt.
Well, the reason I'm wearing this because as upset that I was that this was not Schindler's List, it was Surf Ninjas, it did
Jesus.
inspire me to want to learn how to surf. And luckily, at the end of this movie, they teach you all you need to know about surfing. He gets all the natives on the island. He goes, bend your knees and move your arms.
Remember, bend your knees, use your arms. Good. Now you're styling. All right, you guys ready to check out the waves?
And suddenly, they're all great at surfing.
Well, they know
Well,
how to.
if you like surf, I would recommend Surf Nazis Must Die.
Oh, that sounds great.
A trauma film.
That sounds great. I actually love that movie.
Yeah.
And I asked Lloyd Kaufman, if I could direct Neo Surf Nazis Must Also Die.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, we only distribute it. We don't own that movie. I was like, damn.
I also thought they must also die.
When is Surf Ninjas Must Die?
That's the beginning of this movie.
Can we bring
That's what
back-
the bad guys are trying to do.
Surf ninjas must die.
But yeah, if
This
you ever
movie must die.
if you want to be a surfer, just remember, just bend your knees and use your arms, and you'll be.
Is that
a
an
surfer.
official copy of
I don't know. Ask the store owner. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know how a lot of movies they go into like the sleeve. It's not real. No.
Do you have it on Laserdisc?
I wonder if they even pressed this.
Does that exist?
I know.
Wow.
I want the movie poster.
I have the DVD of this film, but I've only watched it once.
Was there any like Pizza Hut tie-in or anything like that?
No, surprise! It wasn't like Ninja Turtles type
The
stuff.
Game Gear was the
There was
tie-in.
Game Gear,
Yeah.
which is funny because he's like, "Oh, I thought I was playing Shinobi. I'm playing."
Yeah, let's
Surf
name
Ninja."
drop other Game Gear games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they talk about Shinobi, and there's a column scene.
So if you're a kid who knows Shinobi but isn't familiar with Game Gear, you'd watch this
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh, I can get Shinobi on Game Gear," and then you'll turn the movie off because
I'm
it's
gonna
really
get it
bad.
on Amiga CD32.
Oh, that's even better.
Wow, imagine if that was a tie-in. Oh, I can see what's happening on my Amiga CD30.
So if you're from like Canada or France, you could play it.
Oh, is that in the magazine, the Amiga 32?
No, there just happens to be a Surf Ninja game.
Is
There's
this
just-
was this the tail end of the Game Gear, or is this them like really pushing it in the beginning? when was the Game Gear?
I'm
Was like,
thinking
Midlife?
this is about
94, 95 was the end.
Because I remember
Okay.
like Game Gear was
yeah.
like taking digs at Game Boy and everything,
Yeah.
like it's in color
Yeah.
and everything, and
I love when movies do
Game
product
Gear was
placement a little bit too late. Like your favorite Stallone movie, Bullet to the Head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of BlackBerry advertisement, and that was like 2 years after BlackBerry
Oh,
had
yeah.
just gone away
Wow.
from the public.
So thinking about
It's like 2 years later.
Yeah.
when you're
That's
talking
about right for that movie.
when you just talking about like England and France or whatever,
Yeah.
in the movie they're like they're making. I guess it's cool not to know where countries are. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
where's Spain on the map? Where's Spain? And he can't find it, and the whole class is laughing at him weird.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a close up of a kid. He's just like,
Yeah.
And
well,
it's
some would say Spain would be
here. And others would say,
well, I wasn't going to say it was there. I mean, some would also say that Spain would be over here. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing funny about the scene.
later when they're traveling and when they're on the boat and they're traveling there, they have like a little fake boat. They leave from Spain because the kids don't know they're leaving from LA. And I was like, oh, they're dumb because they're leaving from LA, not
That-
Spain. And I'm like, wow, that's the most clever joke in the
That
movie.
actually is-
And,
I
they
didn't
don't-
even-
and they go through the Panama Canal, so they know what that is. And then they get the Patusan, and I'm like, wow, they know where Spain is there. But they don't, and they know where Patusan is, but they don't know where LA is. This is great.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even like think about it.
How hard is it to find stuff on a map, by the way? Like, I can't tell you where every single country is, but I could probably point to the area on the map where it would be. Like, come on, Spain is easy to find.
Yeah.
Did we already mention that really bad porta potty joke?
But you must remember something of Patusan.
Portisan? You mean those toilets at construction sites? Ew, I give up the throne.
Did you mention
Oh,
that?
there's a porta. Yeah, instead of that's kind of rude. Like instead of Patusan, they say porta potty. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a little
And
rough.
it's so like not funny.
It's
Like,
not,
that's the
yeah.
word, yeah.
What about the weird child bride arranged marriage in the beginning?
well, the thing,
Starring Kelly who played Deathstrike in X-Men 2.
the movie sets up a lot of
That's right.
things. Like in the movie, they go from monarchy and then they abolish it and they go to democracy, and
Yeah.
they go from an arranged marriage to like dating. Like
Yeah.
this is a very progressive film.
Yeah, they basically colonize the like they're supposed to be the king, and they make it like it's going to be the 51st state. Patusan.
It's weird too because you have her who's clearly 15 if they're
Yeah.
getting this arranged marriage,
Yeah.
and there's a scene where she's trying to like get the soldiers away and she seduces them by saying something.
It's really uncomfortable
Sexual.
to watch. This is not a kid's movie.
And she says something in her language, and they go, "Oh yeah!" And all four of them follow her into the woods,
Yeah.
and then they get beat up by the guys. But then she goes, and he goes like, "What'd you say?" He's like, "I'll tell you on our wedding night." And I'm like,
It's so weird.
"Will you now?"
Was it confusing that the bad guys look like the good guys from the Street Fighter movie? Like their blue camo and military stuff?
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, they look like not the United Nations, the Allied Nations.
Allied Nations, that son of a bitch, Bison.
Yeah. I'm watching this movie
That's
and
what
I'm
they
like,
look like.
when was that? When did that come out?
Oh,
That's
94.
sometime,
A year after. They might be using the same outfit.
I was gonna say, do you think they like took the outfits and like took the patches off
Mm-hmm.
and reused them?
Same
That
company.
would be
Well,
great.
do you think, or do you think the capital, that the place they're in is in Patusan. It's the crossover.
Yeah, wait, what if Street Fighter is the sequel to Surf Ninja?
Oh, that'd be
Street Fighter.
or the Kino origin story. The side story.
Just connect all of them.
Yeah. I couldn't find it. I mean, it's on YouTube, obviously. You sent me
Someone
a link,
re-uploaded it. Yeah.
But it's not on anything officially.
Netflix, Amazon.
Yeah, there's none of the streaming things. And usually you could at least find a mention of it. Like on cable on demand, they even had Mac and Me, and that was the only place I found it. But Surf Ninjas, I could not find Surf Ninjas. You type in Surf Ninjas, and usually like suggestions and things come up. Nothing would come up.
That's weird.
And that's for the best.
Which is weird because a lot of definitely time and effort and budget went into this film.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a Blu-ray release. Like, hopefully not. But I'm glad you guys got to see it. I've been sitting on that one for a while.
And to tell you the truth, like there's like a lot of times there's movies where it's like, oh, it's so bad, it's good. This is not. This is so bad.
We didn't talk about Tone Loc at all.
Oh yeah, Tone Loc is in the movie.
So Tone Loc is like the detective. He's like, hey everybody, because you know him because he's saying he's saying the wild thing,
and the funky comedy.
And he was in Ace Ventura as like the side detective. He always plays the side detective.
Yeah.
And he's in this for no reason. Like when they're moto surfing in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's his song playing.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that in that universe he's also a detective. So it is Tone Loc.
Detective Tone
and then they
Loc.
knock him unconscious and drag him to the island, and now he's part of their freedom army. I guess he's not a cop anymore.
This is like a producer going like, what's big with the kids? Oh, Tone Loc. Put him in the movie. That's basically what it is. He's actually not a bad actor. I don't know why he gets stuck in like
they got
bit roles.
So they got Rob Schneider, Tone Loc, and Liam Neeson in the same film. It's
pretty bad. I guess the only last thing I have to say is I listened to a podcast where they made fun of this movie, and the guy who played the little boy was in the crowd, and they asked him questions, and apparently he tried to hit on a girl by saying he was in Surf Ninjas, and it didn't work out for him. Apparently he never used that pickup line ever again.
And we didn't talk about what's his name? Rob Schneider dresses up as their Scottish grandfather.
I forgot that happened.
He was in the wheelchair, and he's like, "Oh, latties, get some haggis," and I'm like, "Wow, it'd be great if the whole movie if he was dressing up as different characters and it was like he had a shtick."
It's gonna be like Masters of Disguise.
I was just thinking that. Oh my god,
another great film.
Oh my god,
I have not seen it, but like from what I've seen.
Master of
Disguise.
I was actually worried. I was worried that was gonna come up, and it's like, we're gonna have to watch Masters of Disguise.
Now I know what kind of movies I'm gonna be thinking.
I worked at a movie theater when Master of Disguise came out, and we at Friday night at midnight or whatever, we would watch movies that just came out, like a midnight release. And one of the cleaning guys was just so pissed, like one of the ushers, like he had a bad day, probably cleaning up kid packs and bathroom stuff. And he got so frustrated at the film because it's so bad, he got up and just put a hole in the wall in the theater and left. And none of us said anything. There was no write-ups. It was just give him some air. And it's because it's Master of Disguise.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was after the turtle part.
Yeah. Do you think he went home and calmed down with a nice surf ninja? That should be the name of a drink. That's like a surf ninja.
That is a funny topic. Like how ninja. Pissed off you'd get in a movie, because I know we talked about that in your story. But
Ninja Turtles 3,
yeah. But like, I mean, I don't think that's ever happened with me. I can't think of ever getting pissed off at a movie where like
you punch a wall,
a wall, or piss on the floor.
How about chop a tape in half with a samurai sword?
Well, that's not real.
That's a
I mean, I did it, but it wasn't like it was. It was for a video.
You did it, so it's real.
And this
I mean, I saw it first in case you want to know, then sliced it.
Also, Rob Schneider talks about the biodome in this film.
Oh yeah.
So I was hoping someone was watching Surf Ninjas and was like, "Hey, there is a biodome. Let's make a film." Because I think that was '96. I want to say. Because I lived in Tucson. And it was
That's
right
why
next to
they
my
made
house.
it, because of
biodome.
A word in Surf Ninjas.
Well, they talk about.
You'd like to think.
They give you a paragraph like Rob Schneider talks about the biodome in Tucson, Arizona for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I should look it up. I want to know if the people who wrote Biodome wrote Surf Ninjas, because they probably did.
I'm gonna go, because now I know how to surf thanks to this movie. So I'm just gonna go to find the biggest waves I can in Hawaii, and I'll call and let you know how I do.
Perfect.
Okay.
See you guys later.
The Humunga Cowabunga from down under.
Mahalo.
Wasn't the door that way?
He's going into the porn section.
Thank you for checking out Cinemassacre Rental Reviews. Take a look at our other videos, and if you want to get some sweet Cinemassacre merchandise, head on over to store.screenwavemedia.com.